Okay, we're gonna wait about uh, a few more seconds, and we're gonna get going because it's really not about a certain number. We're just gonna go. So let's go. This channel, my life in general, has never been one geared towards popularity. What's up, Dar True? You know, um, yes, son. Okay. So even in school or uh, every other aspect of life, college, whatever, I always kind of charted my own path. You know, now that's not to say that I didn't get involved in things that you know weren't becoming of me. Let's put it that way. You know, I had some, I got some wild stories from my early adulthood. But for the most part, it's just if I was going to do something, I was just going to do it because it's something I wanted to experience, you know, and I did it. But it was not because somebody, it was following into a pack of people. So these videos fall in line with that ethos. Some people may be looking for these deep, what sounds exotic and new and far out concepts, you know, or just something that sounds different to you or something that tickles your ear. But that's not really what my objective, no, it's not, no, really, that ain't my objective at all. It is, I found my stride, I found my zenith in common sense metaphysics. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give. You know, my daddy taught me about writing, about, you know, common approach to that. You know, and sometimes I play, sometimes I take it up a notch, sometimes I lower it down a notch, but just to keep stretching the spectrum a little bit. But for the most part, this is just old common sense wit. That's all it is. What do you think metaphysics came out of? They came out of old country axioms and idioms, and you know, I'm borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. He don't know me from Adam's house cat. I mean, just little things we say that it be stuff up under it, stuff layered up under it. You know, common sense. So today, pardon me if it ain't whatever it's supposed to be, as far as, you know, this deep metaphysical message of we're going into the 10th dimension and we're gonna then step over into the 19th dimension, you know, and arm wrestle the, what if we put in the cart before the horse? What if that's a big problem? You know, a guy came and was working on, yes, son. Huh? What? A guy came, and I'm gonna hurry up, get off of here. But a guy came and worked on what you call them, cable. Come in with attitude. I mean, you know, sloppy. And it's the thing of he's doing us a favor. Something you done paid for and gonna have to continue to pay for. And it was irritating, but I realized that he had no home training. And a lot of stuff we do, and this ain't to knock nobody, because it ain't about, once you become an adult, you become responsible for the way your life is playing out. It's not mommy and daddy's fault anymore. You can't blame them. You make choices about how your life is going, how it's going to roll. You know. So some people had home training. Some people had the wherewithal to recognize their deficiencies and work on them, and not try to make excuses for, oh, you just supposed to overlook this and you ain't supposed to. No, you supposed to recognize part of being an adult and part of y'all this godhood that you claim is that it is taking responsibility. We become so divine spiritually that we can't even, you know, can't even cut no grass or whatever. Just something simple. Just, because it's extremes. Yes. Where your water? It's extremes. I swing from this one all the way over to the far, and I think I'm doing something, and really I spend my time festering in my own. What? We're almost there. Festering in my own pool of self-pity and anger, and stagnation. How do I know? Because I done it. And done even gone against home training. So that ain't no fail safe either. But there need to be more conversation about just why is it that they had exoteric and esoteric understanding of spirituality. Because one, you had to just basically learn how not to be a piece of shit before you start learning how to express all of this divinity and this and that was the point. Now so much emphasis is on, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm sitting looking at you. I'm sitting looking, and I see through it. I don't see it. I see games. So there's a reason chaos is good, but even chaos needs some order. I keep saying it. Everything can't sound popular. Everything can't be about what tickles your fancy. Some stuff just it is what it is. Nothing that we have experienced is for naught. Is to be tossed away. I think about my parents, and I think about those 3 generations up under them, and just the pride of just think about my daddy starching his jeans. This pride, and I ain't saying everybody need to go out and starch their, but just understand, because some people aren't good listeners and don't hear don't listen to the context. They listen for sound bites, for an opportunity to rebut or filibuster, and they don't listen to the whole message. What I'm saying, it's not to say that you got to go out here and look like Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show. It is to understand the archetype of having pride in yourself, the archetype of having some integrity. And it's not about thinking you good or better than everybody. It's a form of discipline. It's a form of discipline. So why did they give the exoteric and the exo? Because the exo helped to develop a form of discipline that would be needed to get the greater jewels. Exoteric became a problem when it tried to divorce its other side. This boy is going in. But that's really all I got. How you doing, brother? I'm doing good, TL4. Those Axiom and Proverbs cover so much for sure. Finished the Sufis by Idris Shaw. Great read. Going to read it again. Man, Idris Shaw something else, ain't he? Man, any of his books Oriental Magic, um, um, Wisdom of the Idiots. I mean, all of his stuff. He's a thorough. Yes, son. Huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. You're on. Well, so yeah, he's thorough. All of his work. But I still remember being in the first grade and just even beyond what I learned at home. I know our schools are messed up, and I wrote about it extensively in my book about what our school system was founded on. But that does not mean that you don't have angels who are working on your behalf and put you, even if it was just one person that showed up in your life, but for some there were multiple, you know. And here's what's the kicker: sometimes the people was racist. My mama was a teacher, and she taught first grade. And no, I'm just gonna go straight. And my first grade teacher was Miss Teal. I love Miss Teal, white lady. She's that type of 1950s Richie Cunningham mama type women, you know. But my experience as a 7-year-old, I didn't know nothing about that. So it would be later that my mama would tell me that, she was prejudiced. But you know what I remember though, is how you can get something from everybody. You got to be open-minded. You don't have to follow nobody's doctrine. You don't have to take up their beliefs. You don't have to become them to listen. You ought to have you a Mormon Bible. You ought to have you Watchtower information. You ought to have you the Quran and Islamic information. You ought to have everything you get your hands on. You don't have to become that. You don't have to adopt nobody's way of thinking to consider and open your mind. What are you afraid of? People are so afraid that they're going to encounter something that's going to change them. Because what most people are really afraid of is change. They're afraid of changing. Even if their life has been nothing but miserable, they are afraid to change because they have become acquainted with misery. And they deal with it because it's recognizable. It's usual. And doing something that is unusual is scary. So I'm not even going to entertain what you're saying. I'm not even going to try to listen, nothing. Because I have found the truth. That's called insanity. And I don't even know how. Man, I got all this sun in my face. Monkey bars and birds. That's right. Oh, so I was talking about Miss Teal. Damn, I got it all off on. Okay, so Miss Teal, I got to finish up because I'll talk about all my teachers one day, and maybe we have to do a video on each one. Let's go, Miss Teal. This is something quick. I always remember that Miss Teal told us when you're taking your shower at night to let the water run under your fingernails. Now that is so simple, but why is that stuck with me for 30-something years? You know, I see people with nasty fingernails, and I think about that, Miss Teal, she said, and I'm like, man, they didn't even take the time to let the water run under their nails. Nasty, Learn that from Miss Teal. Everything is what? Yeah. Everything is yours to use. Just keep your mind open. Uh, I gotta go. So we'll chit chat again. Friday, August 10th, we'll be at Asterisks Holistic and Spiritual Store, 6:30 p.m. And this is gonna be the first of a three-part class titled Common Sense Metaphysics, and we will talk about everything. All right. It's Brother Jamal reminding you first to keep your chin up, as that's another one my mom used to say. All right, girl, keep your chin up. She'd be getting off the phone. You know, so I'll give you some of Mama's uh, outro right there. Keep your chin up, and as always, it's Brother Jamal, mastersofthecosmos.com, reminding you to stay down until you get up, and when you get up, stay down. Peace. Say peace.